Okay, now we're going to look at determining the equation of a line given some information. So there's three types of information we're going to look at. So the first type is given the slope of the line and given some point on the line. You can determine the equation of the line. Okay, the next method will be given a graph of the line. And then the last method will be you're just given 2 points on the line. Can you determine the equation of the line? Okay, so the first method, given the slope and a point on the line. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is sub the slope and the point into the equation y equals mx plus b. So the slope goes here, right into m, and the point, you have the x and y coordinates. So say it's 2, 3. You're going to sub it in here. So you're going to sub the 2 in here for x and the 3 in here for y. So you know the m, the x, and the y. You just solve for b. Okay? So for example, y equals mx plus b. The slope is 2/3. The y-intercept, sorry, not the y-intercept, the point, p is 1, 3, let's say, and you sub them in. The slope goes there, and the point goes here. So here's the y coordinates. I'm going to go 3 equals 2/3 times 1 plus b. Okay, so now you could solve for b. It's the only unknown there. Okay, if the slope is undefined, okay, so you're given the slope, but the slope is undefined. It's infinity, basically. That means that you have a vertical line. Okay, so the line is vertical when there is an undefined slope. Okay. The x-coordinate will be the same for every point because the slope is straight up and down. So if it's straight up and down, the x-coordinates don't change, right? So if you have a graph, it looks like this, and here's the line, that's an infinite slope, or an undefined slope, so the x-coordinates don't change. So basically you're just going to write for that one, if that x-coordinate is k, or 4, or whatever, the equation of that line is x equals k. All right? And if the slope is 0, well then it's y equals b. Okay, because the slope is 0, which means this part here goes away, and it's just y equals b. And b is the y-intercept. Okay, once you get that, then it wants it in both forms. So you need to then use algebra to rearrange the slope-intercept so that you have it in standard form, ax plus by plus c equals 0. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of examples of this. Okay, move up here. All right. So in the first one, we've got the slope is 2, and the point that it goes through is 0, 0. That's pretty straightforward. If the x-coordinate is 0, the y-coordinate is the y-intercept. So you know here m is 2, 0 is the y-intercept. You could sub the point in 0, 0 and solve for b equal to 0, but you know right away when x is 0, the y-coordinate is the y-intercept. So then y equals 2x. You want to put this in standard form, so you need it to be an ax plus by plus c equals 0. Well, I'm going to subtract y from both sides. If I do that, I get 0 equals 2x minus y. There is no c value in this. It's just 0. So that's standard form. Okay, next example. You've got the slope is -3, and the y-intercept is, or not the y-intercept, the other point is 2, 1. Okay, so not the origin at all, or the y-intercept. So now you have to sub it in. So first I'm going to sub in -3 into the slope. So I do this in 2 steps. Okay, so the negative 3 is in for the slope. Now, the point xy is here. Make sure that the second one goes in here first. Sub those in, the 2 and the 1, and now all you have to do is solve for the b. So 1 equals negative 6 plus b. Add 6 to both sides. B equals 7. So then y equals negative 3x plus 7. Slope-intercept form. Okay. Subtract y from both sides. And you get negative 3x minus y plus 7 equals 0. Problem with this is the a value must be positive. So now you multiply both sides by negative 1 to get 3x plus y minus 7 equals 0. And that is your standard form equation. Another example here is going to be this one. Okay. Slope is 2/3 and the point is negative 1,3. Sub them in. So 2/3 in for the slope. Sub that point in. The y goes out here. The x goes here. Okay. And then solve for b. So in this case, negative 1 times 2/3 is just negative 2/3. Now you got to add 2/3 to both sides. Now you're dealing with fractions. Okay. Hopefully you remember how to do that. So you add 2/3 to 3. Okay. So b equals 3 plus 2/3. I just changed the side here. It doesn't matter which side you write it on. So b equals 3 plus 2/3. 3 is the same as 9/3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now you have a common denominator. 9 plus 2 is 11, so b is 11 over 3. Okay. So there is the slope-intercept form. Y equals 2/3 x plus 11 over 3. Not the nicest one to try and graph, right? Now we've got to convert that to standard form. So we're going to multiply both sides here by 3 to get rid of that denominator. Once you do that, you end up with 3y equals 2x plus 11. Subtract 3y from both sides, and you've got standard form. Okay? So the goal here was to get rid of the fraction first, then you got whole numbers, bring it all to one side with x being the leading one, and you got standard form. Next one. Okay, slope is negative 2/5 and the point is 1/5. Sub in the slope where it's supposed to go, sub in 1/5 where it's supposed to go. Okay, multiply the 1, it stays the same. Now you're going to add 2/5 to both sides. And b equals 5 plus 2/5. 5 is 25 over 5. Plus 2/5 is 27 over 5. And there is slope-intercept form. Y equals negative 2/5 x, which is what we had up here. And we found b, and we subbed it in here. And that's the slope-intercept. Now, we have to multiply both sides by 5 to get rid of that divided by 5. Okay, when I do that, the 5's go away on the bottom. You get 5y equals negative 2x plus 27. I'm going to do a few steps in one here. I'm going to add 2x to the other side so that I don't have to multiply by negative 1, but it doesn't matter, you can do the other way. And then subtract 27 from both sides. When I do that, I get the standard form, 2x plus 5y minus 27 equals 0. So the next example is example 5 here. The slope is 0, and the point is 3, negative 1. Okay. You sub in 0, basically makes that part go away. If the slope is 0, then it's a line that doesn't go up or down. So it's a horizontal line. And horizontal lines have the form of y equals a constant. Y equals the y-intercept, basically. Okay, so y equals b. If you sub in the point 3, negative 1, well, you really only have the y-coordinate to sub in. B equals negative 1. So that's true for any line that has a slope of 0. The equation is going to be y equals the y-coordinate of any point on that line. Okay? So that's slope-intercept form. Now to get that into standard form, just add 1 to both sides, and you got y plus 1 equals 0. There is no x term, so there's no ax. Okay, and here we've got the slope is undefined. Undefined means it goes straight up and down. It's infinite slope. Okay, so the point is 0, 5. So it's going to be a vertical line. It goes through the x coordinate of this point, which is 0. The x's never change on a vertical line. Okay, so that's the equation of that line. There is no slope-intercept form of it because there's no y. Okay, and there's no slope. So that's it. That's standard and the other form that you need. Okay.